Zulaikha Maisara binti Yaakob, the Deputy Prime Minister Muhammad Amirul bin Muhammad Hamidi, who will also be doing the reply speech, and our third minister will be Muhammad Muaz bin Muhammad Suhaimi. Alright. And our reserves are Sharifah Muslimah binti Said Umar and Alisha Sofia binti Samsul Taha. Okay, on my left is the opposition representing Sabah. Opposition leader Chan Poo-yun also will do the reply speech. Second opposition speaker Muhammad Nathaniel bin Rahman, and our third opposition speaker Dura Khatijah binti Rajani. Our reserves are Clarice Chong Yen Ting and Ivory Jino Peter. Right, so that clears all the participants. Alright, from the government, Siti Zulaikha Maisara Yaakob to deliver a speech for today's motion. This House believes that the gaming consoles have destroyed the playground. Okay, Siti Zulaikha, to you.
Imagine waking up one day and thinking about your childhood life, and all you do is locked up in your one room with all your gaming consoles. So, before I move on, good morning to the honorable educators, my opposition team, the opposition team, timekeeper and madam speaker. So, as a prime minister and of the government team, I will be talking about our first argument, which is children won't develop real-life communication skills. And my second speaker will be talking about our two other arguments, which is physical enough and playground was a medium to create a harmonious community. And my third speaker will be my whip will do nothing but rebutting what has been said by the opposition side. So before we move on, let's first look at today's motion. So this House believes that gaming consoles have destroyed the playground. So we strongly believe with today's motion because gaming consoles have destroyed today's and future generation. So let's move on with my point. My point is children won't develop real-life communication, and this is because with them being at home all the time, they won't have time to communicate with other people. Meaning that they won't develop their communication skills, which is my first point is today. And I know that they are still talking with their online friends, they are still calling with their online friends. But with real life, it is different. Real life, you can see their expressions, you can see the way they gesture themselves, you can see the way they look at us. Do they actually like us, or do they just actually pretending that they like us? So in real life, it's just a difference than being an online console.
Gaming consoles, you can actually communicate with people. What do you mean by it doesn't make children communicate with each other?
You just communicate with people, but it is different in real life. Because in real life, you can see the people expression. You can see how they express themselves to you. And yes, you can still express in online tools, but human emotion can be replicated through text messaging or just a video call. So yeah, that is the answer for your POI. So, back to what I have said. In online, you can't do this stuff. You can't see this stuff. You can't see how they express themselves to you. So this is what I mean by lacking communication skills. And with them just staying at home and not going outside, this can also cause social anxiety. Social anxiety is caused because you are lacking communication. You are lacking communication. You are just staying in your room, playing with your online friends, and them not seeing your face. They cannot judge you. But let's say one day, if this person who is addicted to gaming console, who is not going outside for like a few days already, one day they go out and they will be facing people judging them, judging how they look, judging how they're wearing. I mean, these people, our society now are judging. I mean, yes, people that don't judge the face covered, but do we actually do that? And not only that gaming console brings out our social anxiety, but it also destroys our mental health from being healthy because they don't go outside and socialize with people. And this is all because of gaming console.
Do I?
Yes.
Say that they don't socialize with people. people. But then before you also said that these people can also talk through these gaming consoles, like for example in the internet. Is correct?
They are talking in game consoles, but they are online. People cannot see their faces. And our society right now, they are judging us. They are judging our expression. They are judging our outfit. They are judging everything that we are doing. So, if you are just staying in your room and just playing your game console, people can see you, or they can see your face. Yeah.
How is it relevant to destroying playground?
But I just clarify that playground, by destroying the playground, we meant that the metaphorical way that we, as in children who are in age range of from 3 to 12, not going outside to physically socialize and gather to play together anymore. So that's what we meant by destroying the playground. They are not going to gather that are used to in their old times, in their mom and dad times. They're not going to do that because they are stuck in their game console. They are stuck with the spending with their online friends who they cannot actually see. Who they cannot actually see is they old, are they old or are they young? They cannot actually see that because they are gaming console. They are online. I mean, we just struck with COVID-19 just now, and we are not having fun with online. So this is just not. This might be perfect for them, but it's not for us. It's not for our society right now. And these kids these days, instead of going out and having fun with their friends, they rather stay at their home playing their game consoles and sacrifice their time by playing video games all the time. They're not spending their time well enough for them. They're not spending their time socializing. They're not spending their time talking to other people anymore. And when you grow up, you're going to look back at these times where you just talk to online people, where you don't actually communicate with the outer side. So gaming consoles are destroying our playground, and what I meant by destroying our playground is that in a metaphorical way, as in children who are in the range of from 3 to 12, and they are not going outside to physically socialize and gather to play anymore. And this brings this affect our mental health because they are just stuck in their life. They are going to be judged, right? So people will look down on them, and as they grow up, they are going to be socializing more. But they don't know how to socialize because when they are kids, they are socializing as in online, which is not how. Yes.
I believe that right now you're talking about the side effects of gaming consoles and not how they destroy playgrounds. Please clarify.
They're destroying playgrounds by kids are not going outside anymore. Kids are not having fun outside as they used to in the old times. They're just leaving out the playground and just playing in the gaming consoles. They're not spending time outside together anymore. They're not spending their time with each other anymore. And they are just going to be trapped in their room and not be gathering together anymore. And with that, I end my speech. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you very much. Ms. Reka, to you as the opposition leader to deliver her speech.
A very good morning to the timekeeper, Madam Speaker, panel of adjudicators, my equals, the government. Today, as the leader of opposition, I will be started off by rebutting all the points that was given by the government, which is the Prime Minister of the government side. Firstly, can we talk about how they are lack of definition? You guys didn't define what do you mean by destroy. And we, as the opposition, had to explain to you what is the meaning by destroy. The meaning of destroy is a damage something so badly that it no longer exists. I'm not sure whether or not that you guys did explain how it actually destroyed playground. You guys only mentioned the harms of the console, gaming console. But what exactly harm does it do to the playground? Well, you guys can justify that, well, it destroys the children's judgmental, right? It destroys the children's social anxiety, their communication skills, and the world is judging them because they never see each other in real life. Well, that's actually false. Because of gaming console, children are more likely to get communicated because they're excited to meet their online friends. Do you know how many times I met people out there that actually want to go out because they're excited to meet their online friends? What's that?
So actually we did not explain the word destroy. We explained the meaning of destroying the playground is not destroy itself. We explained the meaning of destroying the playground, which is the children are not my children are not going outside anymore. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much for clarification. Anyways, but you think about the kids are not going outside. It just, well, we can accept that maybe it's true about on that one. Exactly why we as the opposition will introduce to you our stand today on why we strongly disagree with the motion presented today. Which is, this helps believe that the gaming consoles did not destroy the playground. Why? Let me introduce to you our opposition stand. We as opposition strongly disagree with the motion presented today because gaming consoles did not destroy playground, but it can only enhance this playground. Well, you may ask, how does gaming console actually destroy playground? Isn't it supposed you're preventing children from going outside? Well, this is the clarification that we will be giving you. Now, firstly, is that it can help children develop their brain, and not only by their physical. Because you guys are suggesting that you want the playground to be just physical, right? You guys are very, very into the physical. But here, we are also into cognitively and also mentally. Because gaming is all about the stimulation, right? Children require stimulation nowadays because the technology is getting advanced, ladies and gentlemen. We all agree to that, right? The thing we're really using right now are all technology. Children are more exposed to technology, therefore they need stimulation in playground. And this will exactly attract more children to the playground. Not only children, but also adults and more people that are actually interested. For example, in South Korea, they actually implement gaming consoles to the playground. And you know what this will actually happen? The playground did not destroy it. We're proving our point that gaming console did not destroy the playground because it actually enhances people to come to the playground. This is why it did not destroy it. And I also want to mention that children are actually naturally curious. We can introduce them to physical, but if we believe that gaming console can actually benefit the playground, then children can also, wow, I'm interested, can I look at it? And there you go, new exposure, new cognitive function, and more physical. Because gaming consoles, we can actually apply it to the playground, right? We can actually apply it to the physical, and it actually happens in the status quo. Oh, not to mention you guys also didn't provide status quo. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going on the Prime Minister. Now the Prime Minister stated that it makes children more judgmental, right? That is completely false. The judgmental depends on the individual themselves. It doesn't have anything to do with gaming consoles, okay? And not to mention how you guys actually didn't even mention how it actually harmed playground. It only mentioned about the harm of gaming console, but not how it harms playground. We are right now, as the opposition, we're presenting to you how gaming console did not actually harm playground. Instead, it makes playground even more fun. It attracts more playground. It didn't destroy. And also, how is a gaming console can actually destroy playground? It doesn't make any sense. We can't blame gaming consoles, right? It's all about the individual aspect. The judgmental part, the social anxiety part, it's all on the individual. It has nothing to do with the gaming console. Gaming console is just a technology, which my second speaker will then present to you what is the role and how do we actually make this technology enhances the playground, which will be considered by our second speaker. Now, moving on to our point is that we want to focus not only physically, but also cognitively. I'm sure I already said that one. I keep stating on and on again how we want to focus on two things. We want to benefit humanity in two things: brain, mentally, and also physically. Because most people think that they don't want the playground because they always think about the physical. They don't think about mentally here. Mental health is getting even more focused on nowadays. But the status quo, right? Mental is getting more famous. People are getting more awareness. This is why we want to focus on exposing the children to the gaming console, to a whole new world, to a whole new stimulation. Therefore, I would like to strengthen again once our team stand, which is gaming console did not destroy playground, but in fact it enhances them, just like our point have already been introduced. Now, that is all from the opposition side. Thank you.
Alright, thank you very much, John. Hussein Muhammad Hamizi. His speech.
afternoon to the members of the House, fair educators, first-time teachers, and madam speakers. So, first of all, I would like to say a few things about. I would like to review a few things that was said by the opposition leader. First of all, you said that we, the government team, only focus on brain and only focus on the physique of the child, the physique of a person when they are involved in the playground, and neglects their brain. Well, I would first like to say that we did not neglect the brain, and we did not only focus on the physique. And to add on to that, you keep saying that by combining the game consoles and the playground, you are enhancing this playgrounds and inviting even more people. However, you did not specify, you did not say how this gaming console can actually not only just train their physique but also their brain. You did not specify, you did not give us, you did not explain it how these things work, how these things support your argument, how these things function. Because to me, a gaming console is just a gaming console. It's a form of entertainment that can be used in many different ways. And as
I stated to you, gaming console is a form of entertainment and it can be used in many different ways. So, don't you think that it can also coexist with playgrounds?
Like I said, I'm not trying to deny your point that it can coexist with the playground. However, like I said, you lack proof and evidence that it can enhance the playground. You simply state that it can, and by stating that it can, you're being very vague about your point. So we do not know for sure whether you can or cannot prove that your point actually stands. And we, the government side, would like to say that again, the gaming consoles have destroyed playground. What do we mean by that? Please just look at our current generation. Look at our future generation. The young right now are complaining about their bodies hurting all the time. They're complaining about their bodies not being. They're complaining about their bodies not being up to the standards. Why is the main cause of this? Well, that is because the main cause of this is because due to the gaming console. Like I said before, gaming consoles can be used in a form of entertainment. It can be used in many different ways, and those many different ways includes both bad and good. And now, answer me this: which would be more entertaining to you? Would you rather use these gaming consoles to do a lot of exercises that would require you to put in a lot of effort, would require you to put in a lot more work into it, or would you just rather just lay on your couch, play video games, and enjoy it in your own free time, at your own leisure, at the comfort of your house, underneath the shade, rather than going out to the playground, go outside your house and being greeted by the scorching hot sun or the cold weather. Now, moving on to my first point, which is that the gaming consoles cause this generation to be more physically inept. What do we mean by this? Like I said earlier, this current generation is complaining, has been seen and proven to be physically weaker compared to younger generations of the past. Younger generations of the past spends a lot of their time being in the playground. The playground is not just what the modern society is used to, a place for children together. A playground is a place for a community of people, a group of people, a community of people together. But yes.
With incorporating gaming console to the playground, it can actually also build community in there. So I don't see the reason why if you cannot build a community.
Again, like I said, yes, you have a point, but you did not provide your evidence how it builds the community. And if you just keep saying that it can, anything can be said that you can do this. When you say something can do this, you have to prove that it can do this. Because anyone can say that something can do something without actually proving it. And when you give that, you are standing on absolutely nothing. You're standing on thin ice. You have nothing to support your argument. And like I said, we, the government team, is looking at the current generation and looking at the potential future generations. Because the previous generations have already shown that they are much more physically capable. They've been going out to been going out to do a lot of exercise. They've been going out to do a lot more socializing. They are closer physically and mentally with their neighbors because they are willing to lend a hand because they are much closer. They're a community that is, they know each other in and out. And it's not just strictly no, thank you. It's not just strictly based on the fact that, hey, this guy was my friend online and I'm only close to him, but I'm not actually close to anyone else because they don't have the same interests as me. Now, moving on to my second point, that is, the playground was the medium to create a harmonious community. Now, what do I mean by that? The motion today we have is that we have to believe that the gaming consoles have destroyed the playground. Now, the key word here is that was the medium to create a harmonious community. Because right now, let's just face it, we can say that yes, what I do agree that gaming consoles can attract more younger people to come to the playground. Are we sure that these younger people would even consider going outside their house? They're leaving the comfort and the comfort that they have at their house. They have air conditioner, they have the soft couches that they can lay down on. No, thank you. They have all these things. Why do they need to go out? Why do they need to put themselves in a situation where they must work to just do what they can do at their own home, at their own time? They don't need to rely on these other people to just come in. And even if they did go there, what assurance do we have that other people will join them there? Because, like I said, yes.
Gaming console, you mentioned that it's comfort, right? But now we are suggesting that the comfort, well, at least to you, it's comfort, combining with actual non-comfort. So it basically, there's a full world. I don't see how it's not beneficial to people.
Gaming console is not a comfort. You did not listen to my point. Gaming console is not a comfort. It is the house that is the comfort. Gaming console is within their house, within their own zone of comfort. And this is why they have even more reason to not leave their house than to focus more on their gaming consoles, which in itself is destroying the playground and by them staying in their houses, they will not create a harmonious community, which is why we, the government team, believe that this topic, we strongly agree that gaming consoles have destroyed the playground. With that, I rest my case.
I will be starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Opposition side. Once again, we've been telling you from my leader of opposition, we are not talking about the harms of gaming console. We're talking about how these gaming consoles can destroy the playground, not destroy these kids. Okay, that is the first thing I would like to clarify. However, before that, good morning and salutations. Assalamualaikum. I've been to every member of the floor currently present right now. I am the deputy leader of I am the deputy minister of opposition, and this side of the house strongly disagrees with the motion given today, which is this house believes that the gaming consoles have destroyed the playground. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at in my speech. I will be rebutting the arguments presented by both the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, and also be giving my own points, ladies and gentlemen. So first off, the Deputy Prime Minister has been saying that these young people, these children have complained that their bodies are hurting, and these young people are complaining, right? And second, they've also been saying that these children, because they play these gaming consoles, they are socially inept, right? Okay, both of these points I'll be elaborating more on my substances later. So after that, the Deputy Prime Minister also stated that there are no communities being created when these children play gaming console. Ladies and opposition side, have you been living under a rock? Do you know Discord? Okay, do you know Instagram? Do you know Steam? All of those have forums to help create a community based on this special interest. For example, oh, I really like this rhythm game, and all those other people like this rhythm game. All of us can combine together, make friends, make a supportive and helpful community. Also, Prime Minister also stated that children want to develop in real life communication. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is also out of the motion because we're talking about the playground, not what harm it builds on the children. However, let's entertain this idea. Once again, these children can video call while playing these gaming consoles. Did you know that? You also stated that because they don't see these facial expressions, they won't know how to communicate in life. Like I said before, they have video cams when playing these gaming consoles. You also stated that children are not spending time with people anymore. Once again, online forums, Discord, they are playing with their friends, they're on call with their friends. Also, yeah, that's all for my remarks. Now I'm going to be addressing some of the glaring issues. One, Prime Minister had no definition. They had no status quo. They also had no team stance stated from the get-go. Also, they had a quite weak case line, which they attacked on how these, once again, gaming consoles harm kids and not how they destroy the playground. And third, a lot of their arguments were rather irrelevant. Now, moving on to my points. We agree, we as the opposition side agree that there has been a significant decrease in children playing at the playground. We are not denying that, ladies in the panel. However, this decrease isn't equivalent to destroy. As stated by my leader of opposition, to destroy means that you destroy something till the point of non-existent. And however, if you look at playgrounds right now, children are still playing there. As my leader of opposition has stated, these children have the natural curiosity to want to explore. And then when once we implement these gaming consoles into this playground, once again, they will have a much more incentive to go to these playgrounds to have fun with their friends and build a community there, as they've stated before. Also, now this is the main point that I wanted to address in this whole debate, ladies and gentlemen. We do not think that gaming consoles have destroyed the playground. We think that it is more of the parents' fault, right? Okay, think of it like this, ladies and gentlemen. A knife, right? Since they were kids, parents would want their children to at least know some basic house skills like cooking, cutting the iron board. However, when these parents do not supervise these children when playing that knife, that said knife will hurt the children, ladies and gentlemen. That is the same thing. That is the same thing that when we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. Parents are responsible for their own children's well-being, and it is their responsibility, their job to supervise these children to make sure that they're not on the gaming console until their bodies hurt, until they're complaining to their own parents, right? We argue that parents nowadays are for an example, too busy working long hours at their job and not taking care of their own children. This is the cause of the irresponsibility of the parents, ladies and gentlemen, not the cause of gaming consoles destroying these playgrounds, ladies and gentlemen. The parents are the source and they are neglecting their children, and because of that, addiction of these children towards gaming console occurs, rejected. Also, another reason, as also brought up by the Prime Minister, I would like to say that in light of recent years, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a lot of stay-at-home protocols, a lot of restrictions set by the Malaysian government, right? Even Nvidia, a popular gaming company, has reported that online gaming activity has increased by 180%. And ladies and gentlemen, why is this the case? Children, as stated by the leader of opposition, they are naturally curious. Now they're not able to go out to the playground. So what do? They find other forms of entertainment, right? They are now playing these gaming consoles, ladies and gentlemen. However, for the status quo right now, after the endemic, we are now currently in the endemic phase of COVID-19 panel. When you drive by these huge playgrounds, the playgrounds that are in your apartment areas, for example, there are only still children there playing, right? Like as my leader of opposition stated, children are naturally curious, and they will still want to go explore other stuff and not just gaming console. Also, we have to acknowledge that parents are the sole reason why these gaming consoles are harming these children and not harming the playground and not letting these children go to the playground, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, I'll take any advice. Okay, no POIs. Well, look at it this way, ladies and gentlemen. As I've said with the knife metaphor just now, the knife, it can be used for good. It can be used to cook. Like just as these gaming consoles can be used for entertainment, can be used for educational purposes. However, we do not see these gaming consoles as the source of why these playgrounds, these physical activities of children are being destroyed. We see these parents, these irresponsible parents, as neglecting their children and not caring about their well-being and how much time they spend in front of the screen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is all from me as the Deputy Minister of Opposition. I'm very proud to oppose and I look forward to the government's speech. Thank you.
Alright, thank you very much.
I'll start the speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so before I go on, I would like to address some of the miscommunication that has happened here today. We said that we give a definition of destroy. We did not give definition of destroy, right? But we gave a definition of destroying the playground, which is the kids not going out to play anymore. And we tell you why kids are not going out to play anymore, which is why they are destroying the playground. We are not, yes, we don't give you a definition of destroy because that is not our point. That is not what we're trying to tell you guys here. So, but before that, good day to the judges, body opponents, Madam Speaker, and timekeepers. Now, before I start my speech, I want you all to recall your childhood. I want you all to go back to the time where to the simpler time where the biggest problem you have is what you're going to play with your friends. Now, I want you to look at the world right now where children are robbed of their childhood and spend most of their time inside their house playing video games. Now you keep saying that we tell you the effect video gaming console have on the children, but we tell you that because the effect of gaming console have on children is they are not going outside, and by they not going outside, they destroying the playground. So that's to answer your question once and for all. Now. Like I said, the children are robbed of their childhood of playing together with their friends, instead spend time inside their house playing video games. And this is most of the children nowadays have. I imagine it's not a pretty fun childhood, which is why we, the government team, believe that gaming console have destroyed playground. Now, first, I'll be saying what I'll be telling you guys what I'll be saying what I'll be doing as a government speak. And first, I'll rebut the point given by the opposition team, and I'll also reinforce my team's point. So first of all, to rebut the point from the opposition team, first, you said that gaming console enhance playground, and you also say it's good for children's mentality. Well, you did not give a mechanism. You failed, judges. The opposition team has failed to give a mechanism on how this is true. They didn't give mechanism on how, by playing video games, they could enhance the mentality of the children and go into the playground. So this is why I think the first point by the opposition team should not stand. So going to the opposition's point, I'll be addressing the rebuttal given by him first. First, you said, like I said, first of all, the biggest misunderstanding there is you understand the word community. When we say community, we didn't mean a game community such as a rhythm game community or an 8-bit game community. What we mean is community as a whole, like a neighborhood. By playing video game, most people will stay inside and not communicate with their neighbor. Meaning there won't be a communication between them. They won't know their neighbors. They won't be speaking to them. They probably don't even know the name of their neighbors. So that's why I say it doesn't create a harmonious community. And first of all, you said children could communicate through Discord. Of course, they could communicate through Discord. But like my Prime Minister has said, it does not compare to the real life interaction. Like right now, I can see that you are smiling, so I know that you're confident with your points. But if this was online, I cannot see you're smiling, so I don't know that. So no, thank you. So this is why I feel like this is why I said that online that Discord is not the same as real life interaction. Now to the point, the deputy opposition's point, you said is that it is a parent's fault. First of all, you did address that console is a medium for these parents to let their children. Some of the parents today, they are really busy. They work from morning to night, so they don't have time to really care for their children. That's why. And first of all, the reason parents have this problem with their children is because they're not living in a harmonious community. The very problem is they're not living in a harmonious community, meaning they cannot even interact with their children. No. And the second point is, after the pandemic, there are still children playing in the playground. But you cannot turn a blind eye on the percentage. You can see that, of course, there's still children playing on the playground, but it's clear that after the pandemic, there are less of them. There's less of the children playing on the playground now. No, thank you. Now, all that said, going into my team's point, going to reinforcement for my teams. First of all, my Prime Minister has said that children won't develop a real-life communication skill. Like I said earlier, of course you can communicate through Discord or WhatsApp, everything that, but it's not. Like I said again, it does not compare to real-life communication skill. You cannot see their face expression. You cannot see their gestures. So you don't know how to interact with. Just because you're good at interacting online doesn't mean you're good at interacting in real life. So that's what we're trying to convey here. And secondly, it's physically adapt. Yes, we realize that there are games such as Wii U who train us to be athletic, but it does not compare to the children who play sports in real life. If you take two children, one who play Wii U and one who play actual sport, it's a given that the children who play actual sport we have a better, superior physical than the kid who play Wii U. And that's why I said it is. I'm sorry. And going to the third point, which is a playground is a medium to create a harmonious community. Like I said earlier, this is where you misinterpreted the word community. When we say community, we mean as a whole, like the neighborhood. Now, when we go to the playground, the children are going to go and make friends. They're going to go around making friends. They're going to talk to this kid, talk to that kid, and naturally, the parents will also be talking to each other because the children they're going to be parents in the playground, obviously, to wait for the kid. So naturally, they're also going to be talking with each other, meaning they'll get to know each other. They will get to be friends with each other, and this is what I mean when I said it creates a harmonious community, which is why when playing video game, the children we cannot really do that because we stay inside, so we cannot really communicate. Now, this is why I believe we, the government side, truly believe with today's motion, which is video game. Which is gaming console have destroyed the playground. And that's all for my speech. Thank you very much.
Okay. Right now we'll listen to the rebuttals of our third opposition speaker, Nura Khatijah binti
Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
Thank you to Madam Chairperson. Salutations I would like to bid to honorable judges, punctually timekeeper, wise members of the opposition, worthy opponents of the government team, and members on the floor. Today we are here to debate the motion that has been given to us, which is this House believes that the gaming consoles have destroyed playgrounds. So now, I, as the third speaker of the opposition, say that I wholeheartedly disagree with the motion that has been given today because gaming consoles do not destroy these playgrounds. In fact, they have enhanced them. Now, my role as the third speaker of the opposition, I will be addressing the flaws made by the government, the POIs, or at least the lack thereof, the rebuttals made by the government and the points, and strengthen my team's arguments, and lastly, reaffirm my stand. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to address the flaws, the glaring flaws made by the government. First of all, They kept saying that we misunderstood the words, we misunderstood community, we misunderstood playground. But ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge the fact that they have not at all defined the keywords of this motion. Yes, maybe they have defined destroy. What about playground? What about gaming consoles? None of this has been addressed. Of course, you would think that playground is not the only physical embodiment of the playground that you see in your everyday life. Of course, we, the opposition, would assume that online playgrounds exist. They have only clarified that they are metaphorically talking about the motion during the end of their speech. My first speaker had to define the status quo, had to define all the keywords given in the motion. Government, why are we doing your job? Next, I would like to say that they have not built their case line well. It is extremely weak, and a lot of their points contradict, or if not even that, are irrelevant to the motion. We, ladies and gentlemen, today we are debating the fact of whether or not gaming consoles are the reasons playground is destroyed. They keep going on and on about the side effects of what these gaming consoles have, as stated by my first and second speaker. They keep saying the effects they have on our children, on the community. And they also stated childhood. They keep asking us to imagine childhood, how things were. But at the same time, they acknowledge that things are moving forward. They acknowledge that this generation is modernized, and the children grow up with technology by their side. And yet they still ask us, the people, a lot of people who are from different generations, to reminisce about the past, when clearly we have different definitions of that. So ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to rebut all the points made by the government team. Firstly, I would start with the rebuttals made by the third speaker. He had rebutted to the point made by my first speaker that we have not provided the mechanism at all. We are not supposed to provide the mechanism. We are not supposed to do what you are supposed to do. In fact, government, that is your job. That is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to set the boundaries of what and how this debate can go. They said that we have not provided any examples of how this gaming console will enhance the experience of these children who are playing in these playgrounds. When clearly, the first speaker of the opposition had said that in Incheon, South Korea, they've already incorporated these gaming consoles with their playgrounds. Yes?
When you say that in Korea, in Joseon, Korea or something like that, I'm sorry, but it's just you're referring to Korea as itself. We're referring to the world at large. If it's just in Korea, it's just a minority, so it's still the bad effects is still affecting everyone else. So how would you clarify that?
Thank you for your reply. I am stating an example that you want me to specify. You were asking for example, and I am giving you one. South Korea is not the only country who have these playgrounds that have incorporated gaming consoles. Next, to rebut the point of the parents' fault, which is stated by my second speaker, he said that the third speaker, the government said that parents have no time to take care of their children, and the remedy to this is gaming consoles. Who bought the gaming consoles, ladies and gentlemen? Who bought them? Do you think that one day the gaming consoles just showed up in their home and then asked the children to play? No. The parents who are negligent of their children, who are irresponsible of their development, are the reasons why playgrounds are becoming desolate. Now I will be moving on to the second speaker.
You just agreed to our point that you just said that the responsible parents have given this gaming console to make this playground desolate, and then you supported our claim that the gaming consoles are destroying the playground. So can you please?
Thank you for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to debate about whether or not gaming consoles are the reason for the destruction of these playgrounds, and we are saying that they are not. We are highlighting the fact that the negligence of these parents are the reason why these playgrounds are going desolate. Now moving on. The second government speaker had said that these children are physically inept because of gaming consoles. He chose to neglect and not see that there are tons of other reasons for children to be physically inept. There are children who don't even have gaming consoles who are physically inept. This is not the cause for the playgrounds to grow desolate and empty of people. Next, he said that playgrounds used to be a medium to build a harmonious community. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where our gaming consoles consoles come into place, if we incorporate them with these playgrounds, we are not against playgrounds. We do think that gaming consoles, we believe that gaming consoles and playgrounds can coexist, which aligns with our stand, which is that gaming consoles would only enhance the experience these children have whenever they're going to the playgrounds. This builds a much bigger community because children are not the only ones interested in gaming consoles. There's a wide range of age groups that do, in fact, participate in the gaming of gaming consoles. Now, moving on to the first speaker, the government. She had stated that they won't develop real-life communication. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to say, how is this relevant? How is this relevant to the motion? How does gaming console cause this problem when it has already been addressed by my first and second speaker again and again, that gaming consoles provide a community where you can talk to people. You have already acknowledged the fact we have Discord. We build communities there. And since we socialize with people online, we do build social skills. Next, they said that we affect their mental health when mental health is affected by outside factors, which is people who are judgmental and not gaming consoles on their own. Now, to end my case, I would like to reaffirm our stand, which is that we, as the opposition, wholeheartedly disagree with the motion that has been given today and beg to oppose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nura. To make her request.
Thank you once again, Madam Speaker. Good morning to everyone. In this reply speech, I'll be addressing the issue in the opposition's team and also strengthening I will be opposing the things that are given by the government, I apologize, and strengthening our team as the opposition. Now, firstly, you guys keep mentioning about us misunderstood. Firstly, you didn't even provide a definition. How is it a misunderstand? We can't even understand you because you didn't provide what is the definition, the key words in the motion. What kind of destroying am I talking about? Metaphorically, physically, or whatever societal issue you guys are suggesting right now. And secondly, you guys, meanwhile us, as the opposition, actually proved on how gaming console actually did not destroy playground. And you, as the government, didn't actually clarify how is it not destroying the playground. You only mentioned how it's destroying the individual. Which is not to mention that it's not the individual's problem. We said that on and on again. It's not that the gaming console is the individual's problem, right? Now, you also keep mentioning that we didn't have proof. We didn't clarify, we didn't have proof. Now, first of all, we already provide an example to South Korea. And you guys are trying to argue with us with example. Then we know that we do not argue example in this debate. Now, moving on, let's talk about how we actually prove that it did not destroy playground. We actually provide a solid example in the status quo in today's world how it actually works. How gaming console and playground can actually match in the world today, in this modern world. We did provide all of the proof, all the example that you guys actually asked for. But I'm sure you guys probably didn't catch that up. And now let's talk about the strategy of the government's team. First of all, the lack of POI, ladies and gentlemen, and panel of adjudicators. Does that mean that you agree with us? Because it seems to us that there is no form of objection. There's only misunderstanding, which is not valid because you didn't even provide the definition of the key terms, right? We are unable to understand what you're trying to comprehend here. And we, of the opposition, had to give the definition. We had to even ask for us to give our mechanism. Mechanism is the government's job. This is another example of the government not doing their job, ladies and gentlemen. We as the opposition had to take the lead of providing the mechanism, the definition, the keyword, and also how we are actually dealing with the societal issues. Now, we also actually did give solid proof on how our point is actually good to society. Because it already works. It actually attracts a lot of people, like I said in my point here. That people actually attract a lot of people in South Korea. A lot of people are attracting the playground, and it's not receding the amount of people that go to the playground, right? Now, moving on is that the third speaker actually said that it's the parents' fault. Well, yeah, you're proving our point. Most of the government points are contradicting with each other because most of the two things that they mentioned, like the parents' job, actually mentioned by my second speaker. It's not the gaming console, it's the parents' job. They have to monitor, and that is not an excuse for negligence, right? We already said it on and on again that we should not blame gaming console for the sort of the playground, because it's not even the gaming console's point, and you guys are proving our point with no objection, and you guys can explain, and you guys actually said that, oh, it's the parents busy with their job. So there you go. That is the agreement that we settled today that I'm trying to prove to you guys. And while us as the opposition, I would like to reinstate our stand for today's team, is that we as the opposition strongly disagree with the motion presented today, because gaming console did not distort playground. In fact, it enhances playground and the culture of playground. And that is all from the opposition team. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon again. I say to the members of the audience present in the house.
Ada tak mau direkod? Dia kata
So first of all, in my replies, I will be clarifying a few miscommunications in this debate.